Coming up on First at 4, COVID-19 testing continues to ramp up across the region. We'll take you to a new testing location at the Pineville Hospital. And retail stores reopen across Kentucky, and that includes malls. We'll see how many shoppers ventured out to Fayette Mall in Lexington today.
And our severe weather alert day continues as we continue to track the pockets of heavy rain moving in tonight. I'll have those details right now at 4.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, rain continues to fall across parts of eastern Kentucky, and some areas have received several inches since Monday. Flood watches and warnings continue for parts of the viewing area as our severe weather alert day continues. Chief Meteorologist Paige Noel tells us what to expect heading into the evening. Paige?
Well, Steve, we are going to continue to see pockets of heavy rain, which is the bad news. The good news is we're not going to see it fall in the same area that have already seen those several inches of rain. So if you have been dealing with flooding the past few days, you should hopefully be in the clear heading into tonight. First, we'll take you up to satellite and radar, where we've seen kind of lighter rain move throughout the area. I know I woke up pretty early this morning and even saw some peaks of sunshine here in Hazard. So that was kind of nice to see, but starting to see heavier rain falling into our further eastern counties, kind of that northern eastern part into parts of Kentucky and right on that border over into West Virginia and a little bit of Virginia. So seeing some pretty heavy rain falling into parts of Pike County. That includes the city of Pikeville. Then some heavy bands of rain falling in West Virginia and Virginia. We're going to have to keep an eye on that area. Heading into tonight, we are going to continue to see kind of those soggier conditions. Another soggy night ahead with those temperatures dropping into about the lower 50s. So our flash flood watch remains in effect for just a few of our counties. So you can see anywhere from about Perry County up to including areas along I-64. Definitely gonna have to keep an eye on Rowan County as they have just seen a lot of rain over the past few days. So we're going to continue to watch this. Once again, this flash flood watch goes until 8 a.m. on your Thursday. So we are going to hang on to some soggier conditions. And we're going to see kind of a soggier trend continue a little bit into tomorrow, but I promise some relief is on the way and that sunshine is on the way. I'll tell you when to expect that coming up in a little bit.
All right, Paige, thank you. We have a developing story we're following out of Bell County. A woman was shot in the Walls End community just outside of Pineville. Police were called there just after 1 this afternoon. This video is just in from the scene. A 911 call said the woman was shot in the throat. We do know police have a suspect in custody. The victim is being flown to UK Hospital. We do have a reporter at the scene and hope to have more later. Today kicks off drive-through COVID-19 testing in Bell County. That site is at the Pineville Community Health Center, which looks a little different to accommodate the testing. WYMT's Connor James shows us how the testing there works.
The convenience of this testing at Pineville Community Health Center is actually very timely. They had their first confirmed case over the weekend, and now they're insisting everyone around here comes and gets tested. Those here working at the drive-through testing say it's important to get tested whether or not you're showing symptoms, because you don't want to be passing around COVID-19 in the community if you're asymptomatic and don't know that you're carrying it. And the process to get tested here is actually rather simple. You just call ahead and book your appointment. Now, the time they're going to have this drive-through testing open here is Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. They also have Saturday slots open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And again, they can't stress how important testing is.
If you're asymptomatic, you can be out in the community and, it's possible to spread the infection to others without knowing that you have it. So it's definitely very important that everyone get tested, whether you have symptoms or you don't.
Now, as of right now, appointments are about 20 minutes apart, but as they get more people registered for testing, they're going to be moving that to about 10 minutes apart. Again, they say all you have to do is call ahead to get registered. I'm in Bell County. Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
On average, the testing takes about 4 days before results are back, but they have been seeing some results within 24 hours. That number to register for testing is 1-606-654-4693. Soon, more attractions will be able to reopen in Kentucky. On June 8th, Governor Andy Beshear says museums, outdoor attractions like zoos, along with aquariums, libraries, and distilleries can open at a third of their normal capacity. They also will allow groups of 10 or less to enter together. The governor has talked about a gradual reopening for daycares. He's expected to lay out specific guidelines for how that would work sometime this week. Retail stores in Kentucky are opening back up to customers today, but they will have to operate differently to meet state health standards. Malls are also open today after being closed for 2 months, but many of the stores inside are waiting to reopen. Krista Frost is at Fayette Mall in Lexington with more.
They were here early, many of them sitting in their cars in the parking lots just waiting for stores to open. And the ones that we talked with say they weren't here for any specific reason, just here because.
I've been dying to get out, and retail is the first thing that's opened up, so I'm here to walk around and see what's open.
Bob Smith was surprised to see only a handful of stores inside running business as usual. Of course, masks are encouraged and staying 6 feet apart is asked of customers. Throughout the mall, you can see benches and seating areas closed off. The kids' play area closed. And many of the stores that we're used to shopping at still waiting to open. Macy's is one which had people waiting in their cars early this morning trying to return items that they bought online. However, when I went inside, closed, with no indication of when they might open. Retailer JCPenney announced many stores closing across the country. Today, the Fayette Mall location stayed closed, not having any specifics on when they'd be opening. Customers say they're not really shocked by what's open and what's not.
I don't know if the big box stores are going to open because I don't see any lights on in there yet, so I doubt they're going to open.
So it's no surprise that traffic here at the malls continue to pick up throughout the day. CBL and Associates spokespeople say that as the weeks go on, more stores are expected to open, especially as they get the necessary items in to make sure that they're staying safe. For now, reporting at the Fayette Mall, Krista Frost, WKYT.
Every state in the U.S. is now in some phase of reopening as the number of coronavirus cases in the United States surpasses 1.5 million. There's been a spike in COVID cases tied to college graduation parties in upstate New York. In Florida, the Miami area accounts for nearly half of all state cases.
Irresponsible behavior or behavior that's unchecked will result in a dramatic increase, which could get us back to square one.
New York is starting to install UV lights on some buses and trains. The high-tech lights help kill bacteria that may be lingering and will cost the city $100 million. Vice President Mike Pence landed in Orlando today, where he was greeted by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis at the airport. Pence is visiting a nursing home and talking about tourism. His office says the nursing home visit is part of an initiative to deliver personal protective equipment to more than 15,000 nursing homes across the U.S. Disney Springs in Florida is partially reopening to guests, but not without new safety measures. As soon as guests arrive, they will be greeted by health officials in the garage for a required temperature check. Once inside Disney Springs, you'll be able to see safety signs with social distancing reminders.
Their behavior will determine how quick and how many businesses can open.
Portable hand washing stations and hand sanitizers are also scattered throughout the property. The Virginia Cave Board is discouraging Virginians from going caving during the pandemic. Officials say social distancing is difficult to maintain while caving. The Virginia Cave Board also says there is a potential for human-to-bat transmission of COVID-19 while caving, as well as other dangers. While restrictions on Virginia campgrounds were eased, officials say caves are a danger due to their poor ventilation and tight enclosed spaces. Facebook is lending assistance to small businesses. The social media giant is introducing Facebook Shops. That is something that makes it easier for companies to create a single online store for customers to access them on Facebook and Instagram. There is no charge in developing a Facebook shop. Facebook says this new application will make buying and selling online more simple. A Senate committee voted to issue a subpoena in the Republican-led probe into the Ukrainian energy firm that hired former Vice President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden. Today's vote went down along party lines. Joe Biden is the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee, and some see the GOP probe as an effort to damage him ahead of the election. Coming up on First at 4, depression and anxiety is even more difficult during the pandemic because of isolation and social distancing. But certain apps could help.
And we are going to continue to see more rain heading into tonight, but how long will it last? I'll have that answer coming up.